Hello, dear friends. I don't want to talk about fear, but about trusting in the divine plan. Opinion piece. Are you ready for the apocalypse? Events are piling up. 41 failed predictions. New Hindu Nostradamus points to June 18th, 2024. Rare alignment of six planets. Donald Trump found guilty. Global debt forms a mountain, the largest global debt in history. Let's start. Building underground bunkers and arming themselves to the teeth is what thousands of preparationists or preppers are doing. Among them is billionaire Mark Zuckerberg himself, who is preparing a huge underground shelter for his survival. What are he afraid of? To war controlled by artificial intelligence? Is the end of the world coming? These preparations are part of a growing trend among the elite, not exclusive to technology entrepreneurs, but to protect themselves in the event of apocalyptic scenarios. The reasons behind these actions are multifaceted and include concepts about possible global catastrophes such as regional wars or weather change. The construction of these bunkers is not driven solely by fear of an AI-controlled war, but encompasses a broader spectrum of potential threats to civilization. The trend to build these luxurious survival shelters reflects a deep-seated unease among some of the world's wealthiest people about the future and the need to ensure their safety and that of their family in uncertain times. Preparationists. Preppers are individuals who actively prepare to survive potential crises or disasters, accumulating knowledge, skills, and supplies to be self-sufficient in the event of an emergency. They actively prepare for possible catastrophes, whether natural, social, economic, or political, such as financial collapses or armed conflicts. Many learn wilderness survival techniques and acquire first aid and self-defense knowledge and skills. They stockpile essential supplies such as non-perishable food, water, tools, clothing, and medicine for several years, and build or acquire underground shelters or bunkers to protect themselves in the event of a disaster. They tend to be discreet and prefer not to draw attention to their preparations. They are known as the men in gray. They do not have a unique profile, but they tend to be people worried about the future, who want to be prepared for the West. Some prepare individually and other in groups. Opinions. According to Hal Turner, for more than 50 years, alarmists have not gotten a single prediction right, but they do have a perfect record of getting 41 predictions wrong. These so-called experts have predicted that some terrible environmental catastrophe was imminent, and it never happened. The world has accumulated a mountain of debt of $315 trillion, according to the Institute of International Finance. According to Michael Snyder, world events have begun to accelerate, and that is going to shake things up in the coming months. We are in the midst of the largest global debt in history. This is the second consecutive quarterly increase and was driven by emerging markets. Household debt, corporate debt, and public debt are at a level never seen before, and we don't know where this problem is going to go. In recent years, citizens have left cities in unprecedented numbers, with many deciding to settle in quiet small towns as world events go crazy. violence, theft, drugs, homelessness, and irregular migration have reached crisis levels and are putting enormous pressure on our major urban areas. Astrology. Hindu astrologer Kushal Kumar, who is called the New Nostradamus, believes a global holiday would be a matter of weeks after predicting an escalation between several enemy nations. In his opinion, the most dangerous date would be Tuesday, June 18th, 2024, although June 10th and 29th could also be important. Kumar used a Vedic astrology chart with the planetary and stellar alignment. He predicted that 2024 would be risky due to warlike conditions in hotspots leading to escalation. He also indicated some signs of leaders in those regions having health problems or resigning. He indicated that the aviation and tourism sectors would be hit and warned against conspirational or deceptive circumstances. Michael Snyder points out a very rare alignment of 6 planets just before dawn from May 31st to June the 3rd. At the same time that dramatic events are happening in the world. Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune enter a morning procession. The dazzling display follows a host of recent celestial events, including the rare solar eclipse in April and the solar storm that triggered the Northern Lights. The upcoming storm is due to an active sunspot that has at least 18 flares this week. A solar storm is possible today, Friday, May 31st, when a flare is expected to brush against Earth's magnetic field. Our sun has been very active lately, and soon there will be more coronal mass ejections heading our way. Earth could be hit by another powerful solar storm this week that is forecast to trigger radio blackouts and incredible northern and southern lights. Earlier this month, the sun unleashed the most powerful plasma stream in 20 years, causing communication disruptions around the world. The sunspot that caused the chaos has spun again and sent a powerful flare toward Earth. There is a 60% chance of radio blackouts on Tuesday and for the rest of the week, before this current solar cycle ends. I think solar activity will be much more in the headlines. There is a lot going on right now, but what we have experienced so far is just the tip of the iceberg compared to what is to come. USA. A jury finds Donald Trump guilty of 34 charges for bringing a porn actress in exchange for her silence. He's convicted of falsifying business record to hide the payment of $130,000 to the former actress. Alex Jones criticizes Trump's verdict and issues a false flag alert. He has become the first former president found guilty of any crime. He always defended his innocence and described this process as a witch hunt that seeks to interfere in his campaign for the presidential elections next November. Trump will appeal the verdict against him for bribery during the election campaign. Trump declares himself a political prisoner and insists that he has done nothing wrong. In quotes, the Pentagon has refused delivery of so many F-35s that Lockheed Martin is running out of room to put them. The reason the F-35s are piling up is because they are obsolete. It appears the Pentagon is about to roll out an anti-gravity craft known as the 21 radar, a long-range stealthy intercontinental strategic bomber from Northrop Grumman that is in development for the US AF. Europe. Unemployment in the Eurozone falls to 6.4% in April, its lowest in a quarter of a century. The poisonous gases from the Icelandic volcano are the current great threat after its decrease in intensity. Great European blow to global cybercrime. At least 4 people have been arrested in Armenia and Ukraine, and more than 100 servers have been dismantled in several countries, in an operation coordinated by the Europol and Eurojust agencies. It is the largest operation in history against malicious computer programs. Conflicts. The Kremlin accuses NATO of opening a new phase of tension with Russia. The Pentagon would tell Ukraine what targets it could attack in Russia, according to the New York Times. Chancellor Olaf Scholz of Germany rejects NATO's call to attack Russia. Hungary is also not willing to participate in the NATO mission in Ukraine. Putin told Reuters he's ready to stop the war in Ukraine with a negotiated ceasefire that would recognize the current battlefield line to make the Dnieper River the border between Eastern and Western Europe. An East-West agreement is intended to establish a polycentric world system in order to replace the hegemony centered on the UN. Middle East. Risk of war. Israel takes control of the border between Egypt and Gaza, extending its authority over the entire land border after an Egyptian soldier died. An Israeli soldier is filmed using humanitarian aid destined for Gaza. The US and the UK bomb Houthi targets in Yemen. China. 14 pro-democracy leaders in Hong Kong convicted of conspiracy. The Chinese president regrets the tremendous suffering in Gaza and asks that the war not continue indefinitely. China would retaliate if Europe imposed tariffs on its electric vehicles. Spain. The amnesty law was approved, with the majority allowing Sanchez to be inaugurated. The amnesty will benefit leaders like Puigdemont as well as 300 other people. The prosecutors of the process do not see it viable to amnesty the embezzlement. Law professors warned of the bankruptcy of the principle of equality with the amnesty and appealed to citizen reaction. The IBEX 35 has its best session of the year with an increase of 1.73% and returns to highs. Spanish inflation rises 0.3 in May to 3.6% due to electricity and fuel. More than 10,000 people demonstrate in Mallorca against mass tourism and its implications. Turkey, Saudi Arabia and Jordan thank Spain for recognizing Palestine. 146 of the 193 UN nations recognize Palestine. Only 9 countries are against it. Americas. Milei reduces inflation but increases poverty and unemployment. Milei resists funding community kitchens despite a court order. Tourism could be Bolivia's main industry. River pirates are ravaging the depths of the Brazilian Amazon. In this extensive region, which depends heavily on river transportation, criminals attack ships to steal fuel and other goods. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.